Distinguished partners, guests, good afternoon. Welcome all of you to the themed seminar held by Hong Kong Talent Engage. Education Chapter DSE Results Release Action Plan. We would also like to thank Hok Yau Club for their support. I'm the MC and also I'm from HKTE. I'm Debbie. Today's activity will be online broadcast on WeChat. We welcome your questions at the end of the session. The topic today is comprehensive guide to the HKDSE results release. We have invited Mr. Rick Chun from Hok Yau Club. He is the advisor of GBA Education Resources Center. He will share with us the comprehensive guide to HKDSE results release. Thank you. Okay, parents, students, good afternoon. Today, actually, I know that some of you have already taken the HKDSE, so soon we will know the results. So now we will get prepared to know what kind of thing we need to do before we know the results of the HKTSE. Some brief introduction about myself. I was born and brought up in mainland. I have spent quite some time in Hong Kong. I'm working in Hok Yau Club, doing some education counseling work for quite some time. So first, I would like to introduce our Hok Yau Club, and then I will share with you about Drupa's DSE results, what kind of preparation, and also what are the Hong Kong education systems. There are quite multiple choices for us to consider. So when the results are released, then we can have different options so that we will not feel so confused. I know many of you are parents. What kind of things we need to do as parents? Some of you also mentioned they are not the current batch, and your children are still in the P5. So I will give you some suggestions about how can we prepare for our children. And there is a Q&A session at the end of our event. So I will welcome all of your questions at the Q&A session. First, about Hok Yau Club. It has been established for 75 years. And in Hong Kong, we are a public charity organization recognized by the government. And we have over 40 years of experience in Hong Kong, providing education counseling, graduation guidance, etc. We have a series of publications. We have the guidance for different years. So many of the information I shared today, including the past scores and the results of the previous years, will also be included in these guidance. And we also offer hotline service during the results release period, so you can call up our hotline. And then we also have a series of seminars to prepare you. First, about what are the preparations when the results are released we can do. If you have already completed the S6 study, and then we can follow the green arrow path. So we want to graduate to a 4 to 6 year degree, bachelor degree. There is a self-financed degrees programs and also the public financed programs. These are what most students want to pursue. But depending on the different academic results and performance, there are also other options. For example, the students can take the 2 years sub-degree programs, like associate degree or higher level diploma, which can be connected to the bachelor degree programs. And if the results are not so good, then there will be also some 1 year applied education diploma, vocational diploma, so that the students can have multiple choices if there are different levels of academic results. So these are different pathways. for the S6 graduates. So what are the major statistics? Actually, the Educational Bureau will have a statistics every year. So I will show you through this pie chart. Around 46 of these graduates will attend the bachelor degrees. That is the bachelor degree or the degree that we know in mainland, and around 31.8% would be some associate degree and higher diploma degree, and around nearly 17% of them would choose other full-time courses like the diploma-based courses. So 95% of them will still target at the post-secondary education. Of course, some students will choose to work directly. So actually, there are multiple choices for the local Hong Kong students. So actually, the bachelor degree courses are not only confined in Hong Kong, but also some non-local courses, including in mainland or overseas countries. So after DSE results, there are more choices for the students to choose from. So I also encourage your more consideration for more choices and options. And I also want to remind you, because the results are about to be released, and there are various information that you can attend to, like some upgrade and renewal of some curriculum programs. Some programs will have a new name, and then with the new name, there will be some restructuring of the curriculum. For example, for Hong Kong Education University, many of their courses become the double degree courses. For example, mathematics is related to AI technology, so it is a double major degree. And there will be some restructuring of the courses, so there will be some division and also separation or different segmentation, and some may be combined. So we have to follow these new changes and updates, because that will impact the quota for next year and also the scores for our reference. And also there are some newly increased courses. For example, PolyU this year had some cross-disciplinary courses or programs, or even cross different departments. So these newly added courses are some new changes. So there are some follow-up for us to pay attention to, like renaming, restructuring, and new increase. Where we can check out this information on the website of on the DRUPAS website, there will be some new changes included. So from here you can see PolyU has some new updates. And these new updates may be about content or some new enrollment. So here you can check out all the new changes so that we can catch up with the new trend and the new developments. So that is the thing we should pay attention to before the results release. And today is very important because we are at a critical moment. These are June 25th. I think some of students have received email notice that you can log in the DRUPAS system to check the designated time slot for you after the results release. And that time slot is very important because actually it is falls onto July 17th to 19th, only 3 days. But every student has a designated 24 hours only. So we have to always remind you, do not say other students' time slot. You have to pay attention to yours. So within these 24 hours, you can change the courses that you already selected. You can change the order of priority. You can delete some of the applied courses, and you can also replace with the new courses. The cap is 20. So for new replacement or new added courses cannot be more than 5. So you can only add max up to 5 courses of newly added courses. And every student can only change once, and the total courses that you enroll cannot be more than 20. So there will be a draft, and you can continuously change the draft. But after you make the submission, it is all decided. There's only one chance, and it is free. So there is no charge involved for this process. So that is soon after results release. This is a very important piece of information. So correspondingly, there are 6 factors that we need to consider. First is the requirements of the school, the basic requirements. I also chatted one of the students. They are also clear about the basic requirements for their target universities, whether they consider M1 or M2 or APL courses, and what are the other requirements. And secondly is some extra requirements. That is like other subjects, elect subjects, or for certain subject, are there any grades or levels required? And thirdly is how the score is presented. We all know that from grade 1 to grade 5 and above 5, there were 5 star and 5 double star. So what kind of a score is presented and by that university. There is also the scoring method and the weighting of scores, how they score, what are the different weighting, including an interview. Some parents may have the question, why we still emphasize on an interview? Actually, there were 2 stages of interview. Before release, there is an interview, and after there will be also interview. So we have to get prepared. Finally is the first-year places and the course admission positions, etc., or placements, etc. So all these 6 factors can help us prepare ourselves. I would elaborate on each one of them. First is about the basic requirements for enrollment. We know that for bachelor degree in Hong Kong, we know that this is a 332A. Chinese English 3, mathematics 2, and also civic and social development should have a pass level. And for the non-JUPAS and the SSSDP, there are some minor changes, like Poly U, CTU, CU, HK, HKUST, HKU, and HKBU. They require that there is a 332A plus a 33. And for Lingnan University, Education University, and the Lingnan Metropolitan University, their requirement is a 332A plus 22. That is, if you have 2 elective subjects reaching level 2, including and also mathematics also reach level 2, Chinese English level 3, and civic and social development have a pass, then it's okay. But for SSDP, it is also the same case. And this is for bachelor degree programs. But what about the sub-degree programs? Now, in the financed, only the education university has the financed program, and their requirements is 22 plus 222 or 22A. And SSSDP is also the same case. And other SSSDP courses also follow the same standard. Apart from that, there were some additional requirements. I selected several programs. For example, for SCUHK, they have insurance, finance, and actuarial subject. Their requirements are 335A33. Their mathematics must reach grade 5. If you cannot reach that level, then you cannot be enrolled into that department, because actuarial subject has a very high demand for mathematics. And for example, the Education University, they have some double major programs like AI plus mathematics. So their basic requirements for mathematics is grade 3. And they also have to take some electives on extended mathematics and physics, biology, etc. If you only take Chinese history and economics as electives, then you cannot reach their requirements. And also for HKU, for the dental subject major, they require mathematics at grade 3 and English at grade 4, and they also require the elective subjects in biology and chemistry. So we have to make sure that we meet all these additional requirements. About for the score presentation, it is from 1 to 5 double star, but there are different variation amongst different universities like Hong Kong U, CUHK, HKUST, PolyU, and the CTU. Actually, they have some minor changes of corresponding scores. For example, 5 corresponds to 5.5, 5-star double star is 8.5. For example, CTU use still the score from 1 to 7 as the scoring method. So we have to pay attention to this special scoring method. Other universities like Baptist University, Lingnan, Education University, and MU, and some other SSSDP courses. So their corresponding of these scoring levels are from 1 to 7. So we have to know more about how the scores are presented at each university. And also the past scores are also important because that is what we can refer to. For the past scores, enrollment scores, how different schools present these scores. This year, it is better. After our efforts over the years, all the universities have provided their official scoring method for our reference. For example, before, Education University did not provide these scoring method, but this year they have the update. And CUHK, only the business school provided, but this year all other schools provided the scoring method. So it can help us to convert the different scores. So they also have their different presentations. They may provide a median or MQ, LQ, or the average score. So we should pay attention what are the different formats that different schools provide. So there are mainly these types. Most of them would adopt the average score. Then you have to see whether the score is weighted or not. And then we often see UQ, M, and LQ. So this means the upper quartile, the median, and the lower quartile. That is, for example, if there were 100 students, the UQ is from number 1 to number 25th. Median is the 50th, and the lower quartile is from the 75th onward. So that is the different score range. So in terms of score presentation, we should pay attention to these different issues. Next is how the score is done. So there are official scoring method. You may think that, okay, I don't have to calculate the method. Indeed, in terms of operation, it has been simplified. But why we still emphasize that? Because there are some factors we still need to pay attention to when we get the preparation. So for these opened scoring method, we know most is the best 5 scoring, and some like HKU and CUHK would use the best 6. CTU would use best 4 subjects, and then Chinese English plus the best 3 subjects, or the 3 core plus 1 to 2 electives. like Chinese, English, and mathematics plus 2 electives. It may also happen for some universities. Why we still need to pay attention to the scoring method? You can also think about it. On the left is the expected scores of the students. Chinese 3, English 5-star, mathematics 5-star, civic and education pass, and it is an A. And then the other electives are all 5-star. So I ask you, if the subject use a different scoring score, the best 5 or best 6, 4, then the 3 course plus 2 electives, which one do you think is the best for the students to take? Best 5? Why? Because Chinese is the shortcoming, right? So I want the Chinese results to be neglected. But for the best 6, all should be included. And the 3 core also have to involve Chinese. So if best 5 is selected, then these students' scores will be best presented. So when we get the results, we should not calculate in the first place, but we should consider, depend on the past results, what kind of scoring method should we choose to make our child more competitive. So it is a good thing that there's an official scoring method released and for us to use. For example, some would list the past year scores of enrollment, like Chinese, English, and mathematics results, also including LQ. And like HKUST and HKU would list their expected scores, can serve as our further reference. Apart from the scores that we know, there are some past scores or expected scores that can help us to make the choices. So we can make better use of the score, the calculator, the score calculator, so that we can make better choices. So this is about the scoring. I also talked about interview. Actually, in recent 2 years, in Drupa's curriculum, more and more of the programs will arrange interviews. We have a rough statistics for those that must have interview or possible have interview. 70% of them would have that possibility. So we have to know about the detailed arrangements of interviews. Some parents may have questions. We know that soon after the result of the DSE, there are interviews. Why we should still consider it after the results are released? Because we find that the time of the interview will be spread before the results release and after. Some are already concluded before the results release, mainly in June, but some interviews will happen after results release, or may just arrange 2 time slots, both. So if the interview is concluded, is there more opportunity for us to get additional interview? So we need to consider how we would make our choices. For example, and also for interviews, where it will be the individual or the group interview, how long it will take. Under the blue box, also include the different formats, like GS 310 is the only select those who choose the team A, because there are different band. For band A, there were 3 choices, and they would only invite those who choose their course as band A. So we need to make our choices based on the requirements of the interviews. We have to also pay attention to whether the interviews are concluded or will happen in the future, so that there will be more chances for the students to seek. So we know if we go to JUPA's website, we can see what are the first-year places and admission positions. They will tell you the total number and the different courses and the spread of different programs. And they would also give you the places of enrollment, like GS 450111 for the medicine MB CHB. They already concluded all the admission in Band A. So for Band B and C, there were no chance at all. And for SSGP, this is the AI subject, a Bachelor of Science of SFU. So we can see for different bands what are the chances and what are the positions. And there are also some flexible admission for, like, on some subject, the students may suffer a failure. So will that affect the admission? That is also a question concerned by many people. So in recent years, some universities arrange the flexible admission. So for these certain subject failure, but other subjects are still very outstanding. If that student can meet the basic requirements, this university will still consider admission. So some universities would still consider some students if they have a very extraordinary performance on certain subjects. For example, CUHK, HKUST, and PolyU, they had their arrangements. And for this year, we are also collecting all the information about the latest developments of different universities. So you should also pay attention to these new arrangements. So like what choices we should take, and then given these different flexible admissions, so that if one subject has a sudden failure, then we can still have other options. So in terms of content, we need to consider these 6 factors. And next up is the action plan. After the results are released, what preparation we can do beforehand, so that on the day of a results release, we can feel much more relieved. We would suggest the parents and the students that we have the best. We can hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. Because there were so many uncertainties during the examination, we cannot fully guarantee a result. So we have to get different plans. We should not get complacent because of good results, or neither should we give up easily if we face setbacks. We suggest using this table, like what are the expected results. I think all of you would have an expected results. So you place a higher than expected results and a lower than expected results. And the expected results, we can make options based on these 3 scenarios. And then with the 3 types of results, we can consider JUPAs and other options. So this is what we make plans based on our different results, like the change of strategy, if JUPAs or non-JUPAs, what are the action plans, which university I will visit, which major I will choose, and then what are the requirements for that major enrollment. Later, I will also cover that. First is about well, we know that we don't have much results today, but this July 16th is very familiar. What time we can get the results? Do you know? Do you know? What time? At that time, we can get results, and through what way? Go to school? Okay, yes, most of the students will go to school. There will be SMS around 9 a.m. You will get the results from SMS. So you have to get the accurate information. So most of students will go back to school to get the transcript. Around 9 a.m., you can receive the SMS about the DSE results. And after we get the results, we need to do several things. If it is a conditional offer, you have to ensure that you reach the requirements, and then whether you will accept that conditional offer. And then if there is no conditional admission, that is, well, we have the 3 levels of action plan. So we can see what, so we can take various action based on the different levels of results we received. So you can confirm the course the admission of the university or register on site, or you can change your JUPAS application. Okay, or recheck the results. What has a change of plan for JUPAS application, or if the results are not so good, whether you will have to study again for another year. So based on the results, you need to clarify the actions you will take accordingly. And then we can prepare some materials beforehand, for example, ID card, student ID card, prepare some cash, and also the transcripts of S5 and S6, the original copy, and also the copies. And also if you have the DSE results, also prepare all these information. And also the cap of the SMS, screenshots, and also multiple copies of DSE transcripts, and also the application forms for JUPAS or other application. So all these are some preparation. So the results release day would be in summer, and there will be some different weathers, prepare for rainy weathers, for example. So that is what we can do before the results release. We have to feel assured. And then the golden 24 hours from July 17th to 19th, only 24 hours for each one. And there were different teams for JUPAS, reselection. We have A, B, C, D, E groups. And corresponding subjects for choices are 3, 3, 4, 5, 5. So in total, there were 20 courses to select. This is the 2024 statistics. The JUPAS, in total, the applicants is 39,634. Most are falling in Band A and Band B, and they were enrolled already. And Band A accounts for 87%, and Band B nearly 7%. So most are enrolled in Band A and B. So when you apply, I think teachers also re-emphasize the importance of Band A and Band B, because most universities concluded the admission in Band A and Band B. So there will be some different choices. Band A is the most favored and most interested subjects, but your current scores can get it. But you can get it with some jump. So that is the ideal choice, because many of the students have their own dream. So we have our dream choice. And then to A2, that is A1. And then for A2 and A3, we should, to be more realistic, we have to make sure that it is a great chance of getting it. So also, in most cases, it should be some subjects that the students are interested in. At this moment, the parents would be more pragmatic. They want to be more realistic and more secured. If the results are close, it is okay, like it or not. But we should remind the parents, because the student will complete the 4-year study. by themselves, and it is closely related to their future career. So having interest or not is very important. Entering into university is only a starting point, not the ending line. So we have to consider the students' real interest in that major so that they will have a more rich life in the university. And for Band B, maybe the interest is not high, but they are still one of their interests. And for some students already get the most secured choices on Band A3, then Band B can still fill up more about these higher possible and also interested choices. And I also want to remind some tips. Actually, this year, there were some new courses offered in different universities. For these new courses, what problems there might be? We do not have the past results for reference because they are new courses, new programs. They cannot offer the past results for your reference. So there will be more uncontrollable risks. So we should remind, do not choose these new courses in all of your Band A choices because the risk will be quite high. And also, the information is continuing to be updated, including the interview arrangement. There are different times, different stages of interview. So before the results release, you should also check up on the website of that university to see if there are some new changes, some new requirements for interviews. If there are newly added interviews, you should also consider. Thirdly is after the results are released, we should have 3 levels of consideration or choices, and then you should make that multiple considerations. You should make up that different options beforehand, but not wait until after you get the results released. Otherwise, it will be too rush. Although we have the scoring calculator, we can still do by ourselves. I can test you, parents and students. So for this case, the scoring method is randomly 5 subjects. So for these results, Chinese, English 5, mathematics 5-star, civic pass, geography 5 double star, and Chinese history 2. So the weighting is also offered. Chinese, English, and mathematics weighting 10. Because it says it will emphasize on English and mathematics, it has a weighting of 10. Other subjects weighting 7. Or some parents already use the calculator. So for 5 corresponds to 5.5. 5-star 7. 5 double star corresponds to 8.5. So we have the 24 and the 20 results. The average is 178.3. The lower quartile is 172. So let's calculate. This student, is he or she be possible to be admitted? So is it the secured place, or it is something that he or she may need to try? Okay, I will take a rest and leave you to calculate. There is one student only. You do not have to declare your results. I want the parents to declare the result. So make some calculation. It's not that complicated, right? Have you completed? Anyone? 5 corresponds to 5.5. 5-star corresponds to 7. 5 double star corresponds to 8.5. Then in English and mathematics, multiplied by 10. Other subjects multiplied by 7. So they want any best 5 subjects. So after calculation, you can see what are the converted scores of these students, and a conclusion whether what are the chances of being admitted for these students. So this may be the reality that we'll face after the results are released. Better chances? What is your calculated total score? We can compare with other people's results, right? Do not feel nervous. 242, others? Is it the same? Okay. Okay, you are afraid of making mistakes. Do you think the chances are high or small? Big or small? Big. Okay. Okay, the student, please tell me your answer. Not admitted? No, he will not be admitted. Why? Why? Can you tell me? Do you have any reason why this student cannot be admitted? We actually mentioned there is a lowest requirement, right? For Poly University, the low requirement is a 332 plus A plus 33. But this student has a Chinese history result of 2. So this minimum requirement is not met. So I want to emphasize on one point. After you get the results, do not calculate immediately. You have to consider first what are the minimum requirements for that university or that major. Then we will take the calculation. Because sometimes we tend to think that if there's a high score, then the chances will be high. The score, if it's low, then we will be unhappy. But there are so many other factors. With the scoring method, it is much better for us because after you put in the score, it will show whether this student meets the requirement or not. For example, 2 electives reach 3, then there will be no option for 2. Some parents even call us why they cannot choose, because they are nervous, so nervous that they think they need to make the calculation. So when the results are released, there is a comprehensive consideration to take. It is not like a calculation, a scoring game. We do not only focus on the score itself. We should also consider other factors. And also there will be some review of results. So for results review, there are several considerations. First is the school performance of this student. If these results has large difference compared with the previous results, then you can consider the review of results. If it is successful, then what is the role in the future selection? For example, if the subject has a result of 2, but the past result is always 4, if after the review it can reach a 3, then the chance of being admitted is bigger, then that will be a decisive factor, so it will be more meaningful to do so. And for results review, it is not for free. You have to pay. So we have to consider the financial status of the family and also the success rate. Do you think the success rate is high? No, of course not. Let's look at the review of results from 2024. No matter the candidates or for school candidates or private candidates, the success rate is less than 2%, only 1.5%. So that is really not high. There are many cases actually. For those school candidates, 35,994 of them applied for review of results, but only 1.5% got successful. So we should know from the past experience, when the Education Examination Bureau give the score, the accuracy is quite high. So if you are successful to improve the score, then you can further change your choices in the application. There are some Drupas statistics. So if there is improvement after the review of results, last year, half of them have had a higher level of choices after the results review, but also nearly half maintained their original choices. So you have to consider whether the results review will end up into better results. And then for JUPAS official selection, this year would be August 6 at 9 a.m. You will see the JUPAS selection. So pay attention. By 5 p.m. of August 7, we have to pay a reservation fee of 5,000 Hong Kong dollars to the JUPAS University. And then, according to the further arrangements of the university, complete the registration of the university through website or email. You will be notified of the registration. I want to remind you of one point. In the past, many parents also ask, after these are released, then the admission is not their dream. Can they accept or not? Do they have to wait for the waiting list? If you are admitted, whether you accept or not, you will not be admitted to other programs at all. You can only receive one admission notice for this year. If you give up, there will be none. So after the results are released, can I just wait? You should accept first. Because after the results are improved, then you can make the other selection. Your acceptance of the admission will be the final one, even though there is change of the score after the review of results. So for the some waiting list results, it will be announced on August 26th. So the same rule applies. This would be your final choice for this year. So after you get the admission offer, that is the only offer you can get for this year. This is the thing you should pay attention to. Okay, I will also talk about other pathways. I think most of you would focus on JUPAS, but for other options, we may neglect. But we want to brief you of other options that we may have. We have the qualification framework as according to the Education Bureau. Actually, there were 5 degrees, like a bachelor is fourth, number 5th, and for the higher diploma and also associate degree or sub-degree is grade 4. And for some other diploma, it's a grade 3. So we should know what are the different grades of these different qualifications. And then there were self-financed and also the public financed. So there are some sponsored or self-financed, the public financed. There were UGC and SSSDP. There is a readjustment of tuition around 44,500. And there is also SSSDP. The 44,000 is UGCs. And SSSDP is around 8,000. It is opened by the self-financed universities, but the talents are in higher demand for the society. So after the financed program, they can still apply. And so there are different bachelor degrees, sponsored and self-financed. And for self-financed, the program accreditation bureau will also have their accreditation for these different degrees and programs. And there will be some gradual adjustment of the tuition. So for 25, 26, 26, and 27, 27 to 28, there will be further tuition adjustments. There's some associate degree, sub-degree to higher diploma. We may not be familiar. What are the differences? So for graduation perspective, there are no differences. They can all be connected to the bachelor degree programs. So they can all connect to from the 4th grade to the 5th grade. But in terms of curriculum design, they are different. For sub-degree, they are more university course oriented. So they have more general education courses so that they can be better connected to their bachelor degree programs. But for higher diploma, the original purpose is for those who got a qualification of some vocational programs, they can register for some professional qualifications. So it's more employment oriented. So some students, after getting the higher diploma, they still want to connect to a bachelor degree. So higher diploma actually is the same in terms of connecting to the bachelor degree programs. And so for sub-degree students, after the first year, then they can retake the DSE, or they can use their first year GPA to apply for the first year of bachelor degree programs. That's okay. Or after graduation of sub-degree, through some connecting courses, they can take some the 2-year sub-degree plus a 2-year bachelor degree. So if the relevance of the different courses are low, then they may require you to start from year 1 of a bachelor degree. So we have to see the connectivity of the two majors. Most of these two approaches will lead to bachelor degree. So that is the path. Here, I also want to mention JUPAS about self-financed courses for bachelor or the sub-degree. There is the e-app system. This is set up by the Bureau, EDB, to help students enroll their sub-degree courses or self-financed courses. The first round registration is concluded, and now the second round is still going on. So it's like this. Through this system, you can apply for bachelor degree or associate degree, and after the interview, they will give you a conditional admission. And then when the results are released, the Examination and Assessment Authority will submit the results directly to the university through EAP. E-app, and then if you are qualified or eligible, then you can only need to confirm whether the scores meet the requirements, and then there is a tuition admission fee to pay, typically 5,000. So after filling one form, you can apply to different universities, and you can the students can apply to 2 different types: a sub-degree and a bachelor degree. So through these platform, students can get earlier the conditional offers. There are many self-financed universities. Some may have the requirement of the cap of the number of universities you can apply to, maybe 2 or 3. But they are not mutually exclusive, and there is no extra charges from the platform. But the universities may charge an application fee at different levels from a few hundred Hong Kong dollars. So we suggest you can consider this one. So you can get some pre-admission of universities, so we can get more preparation. So application fee will not be returned or refunded. And reservation fee, that is after you get the admission offer, you need to pay the conservation fee. So under what condition it will be refunded, that is, you get admitted through JUPAS, then these conservation fee may be refunded, but some universities may charge a handling fee. So if you get a JUPAS admission afterwards, then you can apply to refund the reservation fee. We may apply to different universities. Some parents also ask whether I have to pay several reservation fees. Our remind is that actually there's only one university you will study, right? You cannot concurrently go to different universities. So paying multiple reservation fees are not necessary. You can only need to decide which university you most want to go to, then pay that reservation fee. It's only because sometimes you may be eager and you want to get more offers, but for self-financed, we can only choose one. If you miss e-app registration, the second round will end by July 7th. You can still go to the university to apply. Before the results released, they have their own deadline for registration or application. So you have to pay attention to their requirements, whether you can apply online or on-site. If it's online, it will be easier. But if you apply on-site, there will be the arrangement of traffic. And you also have to prepare for the interview. Usually, if there is the on-site application, they will have the on-site interview. So when you prepare for the materials, we would remind you to dress up for that day. So that was for the self-financed universities. For example, for HKCC, after the results release, they said if they still have the quota, then from July 16th, they will have admission arrangement. Like a VTC, they also have their different requirements based on different diplomas, from bachelor degrees to sub-degree and a higher diploma. They have respective arrangements. You should pay attention to the website of these universities. From now until after the results release, they will release a series of new information. Like VTC, some of their programs are only confined to certain centers for application, so we have to get planned. I also want to talk about other things like JUPAS. We are very familiar, like JUPAS website, but for other pathways, other choices, maybe you are not very familiar or you haven't considered yet. If we have the concourse website, here we can clearly know what are the different courses and different pathways. They will list the different time and reservation fee arrangement. They have also incorporated the e-app and iPass information. For example, I use the Sheng University's bachelor in social work as an example. They have listed out all this information. What are the qualifications students can get after graduation? They are all accounting-related majors here. And after study, they can get a different membership. So if you want to get the degree with some qualifications, you should pay attention to what kind of a membership and qualification they can get. For example, for these three programs, some are registered in EADB to be eligible for the primary school and secondary school teachers, and for some others, they have the professional accreditation. So we through these information, we can know what kind of professional qualifications we can get after the study, so that the pathway or the career path can be better planned. Today, we have a lot of parents. I have a piece of suggestion for the parents. Several pieces of them, actually. First, communication issues. reminder to you, and also reminder to myself. We do not talk. We should talk less about the past. Do not say, it's a once upon a time. Do not talk about that. We have to live in the present and look into the future. What are the future paths that our children are faced with? What kind of preparation we can do now? It's natural for us to talk about our previous years, our old time, and then if you had been working harder more, then it would be what? So that would be actually a conversation ender. We should not do that. Now let's do some positive communication with the children. I want to use the word we accompany them. We do not replace them to make decision, but we can accompany them to know the results and to make the choices, because they have to go their own way in the future. We need to listen first, because our children also receive a lot of information. The schools have various seminars and workshops. Some are for the students only, some are for students and parents. So we should listen to their thoughts and their ideas, and then we should make the choices. But the final choice should be in the hand of your children. Actually, there are no best option. There are only the most suitable option. No matter which path you choose, it is not once and for all, because in the future they will face a lot of other difficulties and challenges. So they have to make the final decision, and we can provide some practical support to help them plan. And I also say, well, many parents may have such thoughts. We all want our children to achieve something. I wanted to go to Hong Kong University. I want my own children to go there too. So it's very natural for us to put ourselves into such a frame, but we should be more open-minded, because the children are different from you. They have their own personality, their own choices, their own interests. So we should respect their own decision. And also, diploma, HKDSE is not the final say. It's not a life or death test. Actually, this is only one threshold for the children. In the future, they will have more thresholds to pass. And then compare. Do not compare with others. We think we should think that we do not see the results first. First, you should close your eye to see what is the uniqueness of your children, what are their strengths and their weaknesses, and then we can help them plan and prepare. So as parents, it's easy for us to drop into such traps of thoughts. It reflects our anxiety and our concern and also our love to children. But I hope that we should all rest these aside, but should place more attention on our own children, because they are all very nervous too. They're also very nervous. We should help them, to support them, and to help them plan better. So this is what we can do, from mindset to actions. And it's very easy for us to fall into some frames or traps, but we should jump out of them and do a better job at companionship. Okay, we also have some hotline services during the results release period, so you can call up at our hotline. We have the trained counselors to discuss with you how you can make better choices. So that's all I want to share with you. That's all. Thank you. If you have questions, we can further discuss. Thank you so much, Rick. We believe that now people get a better understanding about DSE. Now it's the Q&A session. If you want to have ask any questions, please raise your hand. Those online, you are also welcome to leave your question in the Q&A box. Mr. Cao, actually, I'm not very familiar with the topic. There were many mainland children coming to Hong Kong through the various paths. So there is a controversy about choosing DSE or A-level curriculum. What is the deadline? Some children came here at grade S3. They cannot had been admitted to the normal high school, so it's the worry whether they can catch up if they choose a DSE. I know. Actually, before the seminar, we also talk about it. You are first to Hong Kong. We would also consider which track is more suitable. For DSE, actually, you can simply compare it with the high school grade 1 to grade 3 subjects. So S3 in the middle school of grade 3 is a certain time, a certain stage that you would consider transfer of education or schools. Because most of the, actually for mainland courses, most of the subjects are finished in the high school. The same thing also for Hong Kong. And the DSE exam period is March. By the end of March, English test is finished, and then most of other courses will fall into April. So you face multiple choices in Hong Kong, DSE or international curriculum. We should consider the previous curriculum, previous system that the students were, like A-level or IB or DSE. They have their own characteristics. So we have to see what is the studying capacity, ability, the strength of that children. So it will be more suitable and easier for you to decide. There is no shortcut. You have to consider that student individual characteristics and academic results. I also want to remind about the career path or the education path. Do they consider local higher education or overseas? And what are the personality and the characteristic of that individual student? There is no once and for all option. Mr. Cao, thank you very much for your sharing. It's very valuable. For HKDSE, we heard that we can accumulate it for 2 years. So for JUPAS or the public university, when they enroll, will they consider using 1 year or 2 year results? Or is there a difference? Actually, it is a very common question. We have heard of the notion that you can accumulate the 2-year results. It's like this. So far, in UGC or the JUPAS University, it is clearly said that for there is some special arrangement. Only CUHK and HKUST, they have some discount of scores. But for other universities, there is no further discount of those scores. So if you apply to university with the 2-year results, it is okay. Universities will release their latest scoring arrangement and requirements, so you can stay attuned with those requirements. You can repeat your study, and you can accumulate a 2-year score. But for different subjects or different requirements, you can check on the website of individual universities. I have some questions here. I want to ask Rick. So for those students taking the sub-degree, is that degree recognized? So actually, the sub-degree or higher diploma are in the qualification framework as listed by the Hong Kong government. So these is all recognized by various companies or the recruitment agencies. Some sub-degree universities will graduate and work, and some others will continue to link to the bachelor degree programs. So you do not have to worry whether these will be recognized or not. We should consider the academic results of the student to see what kind of preparation, what diversified options they may have. I have a question. For those with temporary identity, so for the definition of a local student, this year we may not face, but for next year and the year after the next, can we assume that in a few years they will attend university, but they do not have the permanent ID yet? So for the tuition, will they be counted as the local student at all? Do we have to renew the visa until they can be qualified? Yes, I know there are various news coverage on this topic. We also receive a lot of inquiries about this. For the definition of local and non-local students. For local students now who are included, they have different groups. First is the talent pass. The dependent of the talent pass holders are one of the group for local students. And Education Bureau is also refining the definition of local student. We hope that for the next academic year, before JUPAS, we can complete this work so that we can clearly know the definition of local students. What are the new changes? Of course, we also know that in Legislative Council discussions and in the documents, the governments and the Education Bureau also know that the parents are concerned about this policy, so the governments are actively working on this. But we still have to wait for the EDB's final decision. But Hong Kong is open, welcoming the talents to come to Hong Kong. So in terms of policy, it will have refined arrangements so that the children can enjoy better education environment in Hong Kong and can integrate into Hong Kong better. So in the future, we will pay close attention to policy. We hope the government will finalize the policy sooner. If there are some changes of the definition of local student, then for the tuition arrangement, there may be the clear policy. So we will stay tuned to the latest announcements by the government. Okay, I want to ask further. Are there any channels or strategies to improve the successful rate of school transfer or being admitted to their ideal or dream schools? Okay, it's about school transfer because many of you are new arrivals to Hong Kong. I suggest you should know more about Hong Kong schools because Hong Kong has diversified channels, tracks. There were different organizations to run the schools, so we have to know more. And the school also want to find the families that have similar philosophies and similar ideas about education. So these process of selection will start from our knowledge about that school. First, and also the school should know more about the children, because when we are new to Hong Kong, we would worry a lot about language, and they do not speak Cantonese, they don't understand, so there may be some time for them to adapt, also English. So we can advance these preparation before we come to Hong Kong. For example, Cantonese, they can listen, they can understand. You can just let them listen to some news in Cantonese or even TV episode or movies in Cantonese. And we should help children to adapt. No matter in primary school or secondary school, they face a large environment change. And even adults will find it difficult to change from one place to another. But for children, they do not know how to express. So we have to pay attention what they care about, especially when they choose schools. What do they care about and what do they worry about? So these can help us to match our children to the school better. You can know what are the personality characteristic of your children, what are their interests, what are their worries. Hong Kong government has provided a lot of resources, information, and through on the website there were some information. HKTE also hold a lot of seminars and events inviting the principals to talk about the schools. I think before we also had this seminar on school transfer. We may neglect one point. There is examination in the school transfer, and then in the Chinese papers, it is traditional Chinese, but the mainland students may not be familiar with traditional Chinese. That is also one thing to adapt to. And mathematics. We know that our mathematics may be very strong in mainland, but for some terminology, it's different between Hong Kong and mainland. So we have to get prepared beforehand to make sure that our children can understand the items in the examination paper. That is what we can do. We can prepare in advance. Okay. Thank you, Rick. And thank you very much for your questions. We have concluded our seminar today. We would like to thank Rick and the Hok Yau Club again. So from now to 5, we will have the networking session. And please also fill up the questionnaire and send it back to our colleagues so that we can design better activities for you. Thank you. See you next time.